Hello and welcome. You're viewing the Citizens Journalist podcast, Mesa County Compass, that brings you the news that you can use from a different point of view. I'm Ruth.
I'm Lisa.
And together we are Mesa County Compass. Our goal is to create an informed, current, active citizenry armed with the facts. We will be covering what's new to you, what it means to you, what you can do about it, and provide you access to the decision makers when we can. Good afternoon. We are here with Mesa County Compass, and today we're interviewing Jody Crider. She is with Christians for Serving Israel, and we'd like to know a little bit more about you and what is going on with you.
Well, thank you, Ruth and Lisa, for having me. It's just a pleasure to be here. I'm Jody Crider, like they said, and my husband lives with me in town here, and his name is Craig. We have 2 sons that are grown and married, and 7 grandchildren.
Oh my.
So one of our sons with our 4 youngest grandchildren and his wife live in Thailand, so it's kind of far away. We don't get to see them real often. And then our older son is not too far. He lives about 5 hours away, and he lives in the Alta area. And he has a lovely wife and 3 of our oldest grandchildren. So, in fact, our oldest grandchild is getting ready to graduate this year. Oh, I cannot believe it.
You be a great grandma before long.
I know, don't tell me that. You never feel that old until you look in the mirror.
I know.
Yeah,
And then you go,
exactly.
Who is that person?
So my husband and I are fairly new to town. I say fairly new because we arrived just before COVID, and then everything shut down, So we've been here for a little over 4 years and absolutely love it here. It's just beautiful. We love everything about this community. We love the people. We love the area. We think it's Colorado's best kept secret.
Yes.
Let's keep it that way.
Yes. God's side of the mountain.
That's right.
Everybody
Although I
knows
was
that.
born in Fruta,
Oh, yeah.
but we left when I was about 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we're back.
So what brought you back?
Well, we lived over outside of Fort Collins, and we had about 8 acres, and we lived off a dirt road. We weren't even near the road, and it got so crazy busy there, and it was just a matter of time till they developed the farm ground around us, and it was just too busy. In fact, we drove about a half hour to church normally, and we started getting there later every time we would go, and we figured what had happened is the traffic got so bad that we needed to leave 15 minutes earlier, and we were just ready to kind of slow down. And so here we are, and we love it.
That's great.
Well, welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So, Jody, you have scheduled a prayer vigil for Tuesday, November 14th at 5:30 to 6:30 in front of the old courthouse. What motivated you to do that?
It's a good question. It's actually a community-wide vigil. And it's not really a prayer vigil, although we will pray. We've invited the community, we've invited the Jewish community. Anybody and everybody is welcome to come to this. Like you said, from 5:30 to 6:30 in front of the old courthouse on Rood and 6th, I guess is where it is, but we'll be facing Rood. And, I have literally, I don't know how else to explain this, God plopped a love for his people and his land in my heart. There's no other way to explain it. I visited Israel one time, and I fell in love with the land and the people. Although when you tour, you don't have a lot of time to visit with the people. And my friend had been taking biblical tours over there for 20 years. She was organizing them. And we both got together and started talking and said, we want to do more than just tour. We want to volunteer. And so the next year we took a group of volunteers. And so anyway, I'm very connected with the Jewish community, and God just has given me an incredible love for them. And so I have several Jewish friends. And when this whole war broke out and they were attacked and these atrocities, which I can't even speak about, these horrible atrocities happened, I was beside myself. And so I reached out to people I know in Israel, as well as here and in where we moved from, the areas that I know the Jewish people, to see if they were okay. Are their families okay? Because they have families serving in the Israeli Defense Force. They have people all over the nation or the state that I knew were probably suffering. And one of my friends told me the saddest thing. I asked her how she was doing, and she says this is so difficult, and she's got a brother that serves in the Israeli Defense Force and in a position that's very dangerous. And she said, and Jody, once, in fact, I'm going to read to you what she said because I forget. I asked her about anti-Semitism because I started to see some of this on the news. Mm-hmm. And she said, once again, the world is silent. I'm starting to realize how ordinary people justified, looked the other way, didn't care, rationalized it, and we're starting to see it again. This woman has authored several books on the Holocaust when she was in Israel. She knows, and she sees the signs. And then I heard that the Christian community was doing this. And when I say doing this, I mean not asking their Jewish friends, maybe they don't know what to say, how they're doing or how their families are. People are ignoring the Jews. My one friend that works at a university and somewhere else said 2/3 of the staff is not speaking to her just because she's Jew since the war broke out. And as you know, you look on the news, it's horrible. And anti-Semitism has actually increased 500%. 500%. People are being murdered. And I thought, I cannot on my dime sit here and not do anything. I can't do it. And I have to speak out. I'm not going to be silent. And so I thought about this, and my Jewish friend had told me in the area that she's at, they had a vigil. It was just a few days after the war broke out. And I thought, a vigil. I've never done anything like that, but why not? Right. And so I called somebody who connected me to somebody else who's put one of these on and said, I don't even know where to start. Where do I start? So she told me what to do and kind of the steps that they took. And, I am thrilled. I'm thrilled with, we'll see what happens on Tuesday, right? But I'm thrilled with the response. My church, I go to Calvary Chapel here in town, and they have just reached out and done so much for me to put this thing together, encouraging me, speaking about it from the front. Pastor Jeff is actually one of our speakers, but we have an incredible line of speakers lined up.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Give us the lineup.
Okay. It's hard because I kind of want to keep it a secret, but I'll talk about it.
Say, this person, next person's a secret.
Yeah. So I was so thrilled that Janet Rowland the county commissioner, has agreed to speak. And so she will speak on the community support for the Jewish people and against anti-Semitism. And then I found out that, in fact, Janet's the one that told me this. Matthew Bremen is the mayor pro tem in Fruta, and he's Jewish, and he has a son who's going to school right now in Tel Aviv. You could imagine the ordeal going on in this man's life right now. I mean, I can't imagine. So he was thrilled to speak. And then I have 2 Jewish friends, women friends here in town that will be speaking, and they're Israeli Jews. And so one of them, I never did ask Ora, but Katie has served in the Israeli Defense Force, and actually her sister is serving right now on the Gaza border, and she has friends that serve in the IDF. And so she's going to speak kind of from that standpoint. And Ora is going to speak about, she lived in Israel during the 6-Day War as a child. And she's going to tell us what that was like living there, which I think will be fascinating. It'll be, as I've never heard that from somebody who's lived there. So she's going to speak on that. And then we have somebody that's going to be doing a little music. We have a violinist. We have a shofar player, somebody to open us up with a shofar. We'll do the Hatikva, the national anthem of Israel, and then we'll end with Jeff Johnson we'll give a little message, a short little message basically to the believers and what God says about Israel and pray for Israel.
Oh.
So that's our program right there.
That should be very nice, and you're going to try to squeeze that in
I
an
know.
hour.
I
Oh,
know.
my.
I know.
If anybody starts giving too much
Yeah.
information, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you have
I know.
3 minutes.
They have their time, but you don't have any control.
No.
Right.
But I can be there on the property longer, so if it goes over a little bit, that's okay.
Oh,
Well, I can almost guarantee you it will.
will.
Knowing those
Right.
people.
right.
Exactly.
So-
Okay, so in all, what do you really hope to accomplish from all of this?
Yeah. My main goal in doing it was to support the Jewish community because they're suffering.
Right.
And I don't know if you both have Jewish friends or know them. Unless you really know them, they might not tell you. But they're frightened. They're, of course, if they have family in Israel, they're constantly looking at what Amir Sephardi says on the updates.
Right.
They're constantly checking that.
And has he ever been busy on that?
Oh, I've been
I
praying
watch
for that
him
man
all the time.
Yeah, and his updates and what he sees. We need to pray that the Lord would take captive his mind, because that would be so hard you can't unsee what you see.
right. Right.
So anyway, I'm hoping to encourage my Jewish friends here and abroad in Israel. My friends that are here, like I fly the Israel flag at my house, and so I send them a picture, and they immediately ship it off to Israel to encourage the people in the land who think, once again, the world is silent. We don't have any friends. This is what they think, because the news kind of portrays it, if you watch that kind of news. And so I'm hoping to encourage them and send pictures back, let them see the crowd that came that really do love and support Israel, and to let them know that they're not alone. That's my whole thought in doing this, and what I want to accomplish is it'll reach far beyond who is there that night. I want our Jewish community locally to come. Many of them are frightened, so we'll see whether they decide if they can come. But I think it's going to be a very safe event. We have lots of security, but I don't live in the mind of being a Jewish person and being in a world where anti-Semitism has grown 500% since the war.
Right.
I don't live in a world where I drive down the road and wonder if somebody's going to attack me. I don't live in a world that goes to the park with my children. These are all things that people have said to me. Goes to the park with my children and sees somebody and thinks they want to run. I don't live in a world where I'm asked to speak and I'm afraid that they're going to target me, so I don't speak. So that's the world they live in. So, even though I think it's going to be very safe and we have security, they live in a different world right now, and I understand. So I'm hoping that we'll get it filmed and they'll be able to see it. Yeah.
Good. Well, we'll give you our Compass address, and you can also send this particular
wonderful.
segment to them as well.
Or
and maybe
anyone else that you want.
yes.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be encouraging to them.
Right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, you've been watching Mesa County Compass, where we give you the truth as we see it. You decide.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jody.